Breaking Nottingham Forest news as a verbal agreement has been reached between Forest and Feyenoord over the sale of Santiago Giménez. Welcome to your Forest news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome to your latest Forest transfer update. Coming up today, we'll give you the latest on the transfer of Gimenez. There's been two different midfielders linked with Nottingham Forest. We'll give you the details on that. And as always, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. We're in the last week of the transfer window, so make sure you have your notifications on, as we will be telling you as soon as anything changes. And you've only got until tonight to grab this double signed framed Bolly and Murillo shirt from Football Prizes. The link's pinned in the comment, or if you're watching on the TV, scan the QR code. Let's get into the news. So the excitement is building, the anticipation is right now through the roof, as we are being told that Forest and Feyenoord have come to a verbal agreement. Now, in the greater scheme of things, does this actually matter? I mean, how do you end up on a verbal agreement and not a written agreement? Who knows? Who knows? But this is where we stand. Romano himself is tweeting out saying with the old egg timer clock that this one is nearly done. So much news coming out, so many rumors about him. But let's give you what we currently know on the situation. We know that Feyenoord wanted this 33 million euros deal, which is about 29 million pounds. Now, on top of that, what we're being told is there's a 15% sell-on clause built into there. It's going to be a 5-year deal between Forest and Gimenez. And on top of that, he's looking for 100k salary-wise. Eddie Nketiah, take a page out of his book. Know how to negotiate. So 100k is not too bad in my eyes for a striker with his goal record, 40 and 64 or whatever it is. He's just slightly ahead of where Chris Wood is, and you would expect him to come in first in the pecking order. Now, the other news to tell you about this is that Forest are keen to get this done before the Wolves game. In fact, all parties are keen to get it done. Probably because the transfer deadline is Friday, so I don't know how, wow, mic droppy that is. But what I'm saying is they want to try and get him into the matchday squad if possible, aka get it done in the next 24 to 48 hours. Try and get all his medical stuff done, try and get him into a training session or two, and then look to see if he can join the squad come Saturday. So, very unlikely he'll be there for Newcastle, but that would be a miracle in itself. So, things are ticking along very nicely with this one. I don't want to jinx anything, but I've also spoken to our journalist mates as well, and they're saying to us, they're hearing the exact same things. This one is very, very close and is on the verge of being completed and turning into a here we go. So, exciting news on the striker front, but there is more news to come for you guys now on the midfield. So get your thoughts in on Gimenez down below. Are you excited with this? Or are some of you still in mourning over Eddie Nketiah? Now on him, Crystal Palace have submitted a bid to Arsenal. They'll know what Forest's bid got accepted, so I can't see that one taking too long. And they'll know what Eddie wanted in terms of wages. And then he is their problem. Rich, D, enjoy, boys. Enjoy. Alright, let's move on and talk about some of these midfielder links. And they're quite interesting and probably BS at the same time. But because of who it is, I wanted to bring this one to you. This is about Ward-Prowse, the ex-Southampton player currently playing for West Ham, out of favour in that team. And Peter O'Rourke is claiming that Forest are exploring an ambitious late move, he says, for West Ham midfielder James Ward-Prowse. West Ham are open to offers to Ward-Prowse. Now, once I heard this, I was like, it's Pete. No disrespect to him, but he's not always on the mark. My second thought was, free kicks sorted, corners sorted, dead balls sorted. I mean, how long has it been since we've had a dead ball specialist? You could say, could you go back as far as Van Hooijdonk? I'd maybe say Andy Reid was not too bad on a free kick, you know, but we have to go quite far back. That initially I was like, I like this. We'll get some goals. Then I thought, well, hold on a second. Forget my agenda with issues with the corners, dead balls, etc. How does he fit in? Is this the same thought process that West Ham had when they bought him from Southampton? And then they suddenly realized that on the pitch, is he offering too much? Where does he play? Where does he fit in? And is that why he's been dropped? Doesn't really have the physicality for me to be a box-to-box number 8. I think he's a bit of a luxury item. There was a rule in football where you could, you know, make unlimited subs players on and off, a bit like American football. Then I'd definitely buy him because as soon as you get a free kick, Ward-Prowse, on you go, son. Goal, cool, off you come, son. But obviously you can't do that in football. And realistically, does he get ahead of the likes of Danilo? Obviously we know he's injured. Anderson, Dominguez, you know, can he fit that number 8 role? And for me, it's probably a no. So as interested as I initially was with this report, one, as I said, I don't fully believe it, but let's just entertain it for the sake of the video. Then I just thought to myself, I don't know how it works, but would you guys take him? There was a huge movement in the fan base before he moved to West Ham, who would have taken Ward-Prowse. He absolutely tonked us when we beat them 4-3 at the City Ground with his corners. I mean, his delivery is exceptional. There's no questioning that, as are his free kicks. But does he offer enough in the rest of the game? Let me know your thoughts on this one. It's an interesting one. Put them in the comments down below. Okay, the other midfielder being linked to Nottingham Forest is Andre Pereira, pre-season Pereira himself from Fulham. The 28-year-old has been linked to Forest, and this is according to the Daily Mail. That in itself should really make me stop, but let's talk about it because it's Forest news. Now, with Emil Smith-Rowe coming into Fulham, obviously playing in that 10 position, this has put his position under threat. And I think this is why the links have come about. He's been, according to the Mail, linked with clubs like Juventus and Chelsea, and maybe up for a move away from Craven Cottage. Now, I don't believe this one. I still think Silva likes pre-season Pereira and he would like to keep him there. It is definitely a headache for him having 2 number 10s there. There's talks that potentially Pereira could drop into an 8 position, freeing up the 10 for Smith-Rowe, and maybe that would work. I don't know, or maybe they're just going to have to drop one of them and rotate them and use them as subs, etc. Either way, I don't think there's much legs in this one. Now, would I take him at Forest? I actually would. I think he has been very good for Fulham. He was atrocious at Manchester United, but Marco Silva has worked his magic on him and turned him into a player. He really has a knack for turning these raggy dolls into actual footballers. That's why I rate him as a manager so highly. So for me, the risk would be, if this story was true and he were to come, does he turn back into the Manchester United pre-season Pereira, or has he learned enough from Marco Silva to continue on his current form? I feel he was better in the first season back for Fulham than he was last season. He was very impactful and part of the reason they finished where they did. But I still think maybe, let's be a little kind of tinfoil hatty here. If he's coming in, how does he fit into Forest would be question number 1. You got Morgan Gibbs-White playing in this position. You got Anderson wanting to be a number 10. And then you're bringing in pre-season Pereira as well. Would that smell of maybe someone exiting Forest? So I hope this story isn't true, because I want Morgan Gibbs-White obviously to stay at Forest, to be our number 10, to start to learn how to pass the ball properly and shoot on target. And once he's doing that, obviously we've got nearly the complete number 10. So I can't see this one happening. I can't see Pereira wanting to come because he thinks he's going to lose his position to Smith-Rowe, to then sit second fiddle to Morgan Gibbs-White on the Forest bench. Yes, Forest are a bigger club than Fulham. Yes, we can pay him more wages and what have you. But logically, in terms of what he wants from a footballing perspective and a footballing narrative, this one doesn't make sense to me. And it's in the Daily Mail, so take it with a pinch of salt. So Those are the current key stories breaking today. I've got a feeling this Gimenez one, we're a day or two away from it max. So have your notifications on. So be careful what you're reading and what you're believing on all of this. We will try and keep you posted as best we can on what's happening. So if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. You got till 7:30 tonight to get these final few tickets for the double-sided framed shirt, Bolly and Murillo. And if you haven't checked out Grumpy Old Reds from last night, we have a huge debate over Gimenez and Nketiah. So go check it out. I'll leave it on the end screen. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.